Folks, Splatoon 3 is finally here. We've all had it for about a week now, or a little bit more than a week. I've played the game for about 45 hours. I think that's enough time to really give some solid opinions on the game. Let's talk about it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Media. Thank you all so much for the support on all the Splatoon 3 content over the past couple of weeks. You guys were killing it on those videos. I don't know if that was just pre-release hype or if this will do well. I have no idea, to be honest, but I really do appreciate it. And I wanted to do a video kind of just solidifying my thoughts as they are now that I've played the game. I've beaten the single player. I've played a ton of the multiplayer modes and really just give my overall thoughts on the game before we get any major content updates, right? So we haven't really... You haven't gotten any updates yet. I mean, the Splatfest is coming in like a week or in 6 days. Yeah, it's the what would you bring to a deserted island Splatfest, and obviously you should be on Team Gear because that's A, it's Shiver, and B, that makes the most sense. But we're not debating Splatfest today. We're debating Splatoon 3 and whether or not it's actually a good game. So if you've been following my channel for a long time, you know before the game got its promotion, basically, which started in August with the Direct, I was very negative. I was very like, I don't know if this game really needs to exist, and I was kind of just not excited for it. I knew it would be a very good game, but I wasn't excited to play it, really. And then the Splatfest happened, and that kind of just changed my entire opinion. I got very excited for the game, and the rest was history. I really enjoyed when I played the Splatfest. Did that translate to the full game? Yes. Yes, it did. I really like this game. I kind of knew this would be the case, but I really do think it is the best Splatoon game, and that's coming as someone who actually liked Splatoon 1 more than Splatoon 2. There was something about Splatoon 2 that I just didn't... It felt off. I don't know what it is. I need to go back to that game because it has been like 4 or 5 years since I really played it. I want to go back to it and kind of just see if I was just monkey brain then, or if there actually was something that felt different or off about it. Splatoon 1, obviously, I have nostalgia for it. It was like the first one. It felt very... I don't know, somehow it felt very solid. I don't know. It's kind of like Mario Maker 1 versus 2. I like Mario Maker 1 more because, well, that's more because of the Mii costumes, but this is not a Mario Maker video. So I like this game more than Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2. I think Splatoon 2's maps are not as great as Splatoon 1 maps, and I think the new maps added in Splatoon 3 are on the same level of Splatoon 1. And that's a big thing for me. The maps being good, that's a very big important thing. Obviously, there are some Splatoon 2 maps in there, like Wahoo World, which I don't particularly like. I like Inkblot Art Academy, that one's fine. Eeltail Alley, I think, was from Splatoon 2. Maybe that's Splatoon 3 map, I'm not sure. Can't remember. But for the most part, I think the map selection is very good, with the exception of one map. Mincemeat Metalworks is god-awful in every mode. I don't like that map. It's not good. They need to like add another area where you can flank, because you can literally, if you're trying to get to the other side, there's one way you can go, and that's it. It's not a fun map, and that's one of the new Splatoon 3 maps, one of the 4 new Splatoon 3 maps. But overall, I think Splatoon 3 just feels better. I think it just feels better than Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2. Something about it, I literally feel bad as someone reviewing the game. I can't pinpoint what exactly it is, but the game feels tighter. It just feels more polished. It just feels like they finally nailed it, you know? It feels like they really took their time and perfected this gameplay. And it is a very unique gameplay. Swimming through your ink, shooting the ink, you know. There's still the issue of, like, I don't know if it's, I guess it's lag, but where, like, you, like, trade kills or whatever. But overall, it just feels like a very tight experience, right? And that goes for, you know, all the weapons. I think the weapons feel great. I like the new weapon. Well, I like the Splatana Wiper. I don't know if I like the Tri-Stringer, but I'm not a Splat Charger user, so that's, you know, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. But I like the Splatana Wiper, and all the other weapons feel good. I like the specials a lot. I think, you know, Splatoon 1 specials, I think, are probably going to be hard to top because that game was completely broken, and they just did not even try to balance the specials. You know, the Kraken and the original Ink Strike and all that, like, they were completely busted in some regards. I think there's a pretty good mix of specials in Splatoon 3. I think the Reef Slider is probably the best special in the game, but then you have stuff like the Crowd, which is like a good middle, I would say. And it all depends on your skill level, right? I would say I'm like lower skill level overall, but the Reef Slider's like, for me, it's perfect because I don't have to use any skill using it. I just have to aim it and go. Then there's the inkjet, which if you're good with it, I guess it can be good, but I barely see people using it in this game, which is funny because in Splatoon 2, I feel like I saw people using the inkjet all the time. Then you have like the ink vac, which isn't very good, and then you have the wave breaker and the soda machine. I think there's a good mix of specials in this game, and it's not dominated by like, oh, here's super bomb rush, oh, here's curling bomb rush, and maybe those will come later. But as it is right now, all the specials I think feels pretty good. It feels like a good mix. I do not like, and I get why they did it, I don't like how they gimped certain weapon kits. Like the Octo Brush, they gave the Zip Caster, which is probably the worst special in this game. They gave the Splattershot Pro I think they give the Pro the crap, so that's fine. But I think the Slosher they gave something really stupid, and it's like I get it, but I don't like it. Because those are like very user-friendly weapons. They're very, easy to do good with. So they kind of handicap them by putting either a terrible sub-weapon on it or a terrible special. The sub-weapons are, I'm not sure how to feel about them. Because you got like the Fizzy Bomb back. You got the recon thing where you can jump to it. You have your Suction Bomb, your Splat Bomb, your Burst Bomb. So I think they all feel pretty good, except for the angle shooter thing where you toss it out and it kind of pinpoints on an enemy if they walk through it or if it hits them. That thing sucks. I don't see it. First of all, I don't see anybody using it. Second of all, it's just not good. If you hit someone directly, which I've done multiple times, if you hit someone directly, they better be damn near dying. It shouldn't kill them on it, but like you're not going to be hitting people often with that. So like, I think they should maybe buff that. I think they should buff some of the specials, like the Wave Breaker, maybe. They should nerf the Bubble special, the shield, because on tower control, that's just ridiculous. I know it has the weak spot on top, but it still just does not feel entirely fair a lot of the time. But overall, I think the multiplayer, just like the feel of the game, the flow of the game is very good. They tweaked Rainmaker a lot, where there's a checkpoint now. I think that is a fantastic change. Rainmaker is my favorite ranked mode next to Splat Zones. I would say they're probably about equal in my mind. Adding that checkpoint to Rainmaker was an ingenious addition. And it's funny because like Rainmaker's changed every game now. In Splatoon 1, it was completely insane, because they had like the tornado it shot out. So if you had the Rainmaker, you were OP. And then they nerfed it in Splatoon 2, and now they've added a checkpoint. So it's not quite as easy to get steamrolled. I was hoping they would do something to Clam Blitz, to fix Clam Blitz. They have not fixed Clam Blitz, so that's a little bit sad. But let's talk about the modes, or I guess like the ranked or the anarchy system. That's what I want to talk about here. I like what they've done a lot, but I do have some issues with it. So instead of just having ranked now, you have Anarchy Series and Anarchy Open. If you play Anarchy Open, you can play in a lobby with your friends and rank up that way. Or you can do Anarchy Series where you have to play alone, and you get way more points if you do that. I like that a lot. I get why, too, because if you play with your teammates in Anarchy Series, you'd have someone boosting you, and then you have like a Smurf account or something, right? So having it set so that you have to do it alone makes a lot of sense. And I like that. I think that's good. There's no league battle yet. That's getting added in an update. And just like the way, actually, you know what? Can someone explain this to me exactly how it works? So you get these like accolades at the end of the battle. You're like number 1 turf inker, number 1 splat target, or number 1 target, number 1 popular target, number 1 splatter, number 1, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And then you'll get gold ones based on if you're the number 1, or you'll get silver ones, and that basically means nothing. I thought those impacted your rank, but I'm A- right now, and it doesn't. No matter what, I get 8 points for winning a match in Anarchy Open with my friends. So, like, if I'm number 1 popular target, number 1 splatter, and number 1 turf inker, I'll still get 8 points, same as I would if I didn't get any of those accolades. So I don't really know how that works. It's a cool system. I need to see it like more properly implemented. Maybe it's more for turf war. I didn't really understand that, but on the surface, it looks cool. I like getting the accolades. It's kind of fun. It makes you feel good. I don't like that you can't see other players' levels or ranks anymore. I really don't like that. I almost feel like they did that to hide the fact that right now everybody's playing with S+ players. That's what it feels like sometimes, because everybody started at B- if you imported your save, right? So that's a little weird. But thank you, Nintendo, making all the ranks one rank for the Anarchy battles. Your Rainmaker, your Splatoon, your Splat Zones, your Tower Control, and your Clam Blitz is all one rank now. Finally, they've done something right. Thank you. That is one of the best changes they could have possibly done. In Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, you had different ranks for each mode, and that was horrible. Now it's all one streamlined thing, and it just feels more rewarding to play right. It makes me feel you know, like, okay, I'll play Clan Blitz even though I don't particularly love it, and it just makes it feel like it's more worthwhile to always be grinding out, right? Instead of knowing that, oh, Clan Blitz, I'm never going to be high rank in. Now it's like, okay, I'm high rank and ranked in general. I like that a lot. I can see where there could be some issues with that, where, you know, people that don't play Clan Blitz that much like me or are bad at Clan Blitz like me, they have to play it sometimes, and they're S+ playing Clan Blitz, and they're bad at it. That's not really going to work out, but you know what? I like the system. I think it's a lot more, it's just better having it streamlined. So that's good. Let's talk about something bad. Just a couple bad, subtle things. Well, actually, first, positive thing, you can skip the broadcast now. That's great. The little Squid Sisters, or what are they called? I don't even know. You can skip the freaking news at the beginning of the game when you load it up. That's great. Thank you, Nintendo. Why is there still a map rotation? Why? I was playing with Caleb earlier. We were doing Anarchy Open. I think it was Tower Control or Rainmaker. We got Mincemeat Metalworks 12 times in a row. That is unacceptable. We went 55 minutes without getting Hammerhead Bridge, which was the other map at the time. That's not okay. That cannot happen in a video game. It makes no, it's not a good look. That is not fun. That is frustrating. Even, obviously, I don't like Mincemeat Metalworks, but even if it was a map I liked, I don't want to do that. That's repetitive. That's boring. That's stupid. That's not good. They will never change it, at least not in this game, I'm sure. But not having either minimum I have 4 maps in the rotation, guys. Come on. It's ludicrous. I'm almost okay now that all the ranks are unified with having the ranked modes rotate. That's maybe okay. But having maps set to 2 maps every 2 hours is stupid. It's really bad. They need to change that, I guess, in the next game, because I doubt they'll change it in this. It's unacceptable. It's really bad. For an online game like this, which, you know, has this great new lobby system, and well, we'll talk about that. And it just feels like that's the one thing they really could have changed to make this game better, and they just didn't. And it's so frustrating. But let's talk about that lobby system. As I mentioned in my Splatfest kind of impressions demo thing, demo impressions, I like the lobby a lot. I like having this, like, a waiting area. I went back to play Splatoon 1, and it's I mean, obviously you have Squid Jump on the gamepad, but, like, you don't really have much to do. You're just kind of sitting there. So just being able to run around the lobby is a lot of fun. Couple of things. Hey, you disconnect from your friends a lot. That's annoying. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But playing ranked and not being able to change your weapon in between matches without leaving the entire lobby, that's stupid. That's bad. Same thing with Turf War. Actually, no, Turf War you can. You can hit change gear and go when you're playing with your friends. But why can't you do that in ranked? Caleb was trying to say, like, oh, maybe they don't want you to be able to change it when your teammates, like, stay with you because they're, you know, relying on you to use that weapon. At first I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense, but no, it doesn't, because you're matching up with random people anyway. Unless they match you with people that are using different weapons than you, which I guess might be the case, but I feel like that's giving Nintendo too much credit, you know. Another thing, I really don't like that you can't hit stay with friends instead of stay with entire team. There are plenty of times where I don't like my teammates in Anarchy Battle, but I like playing, you know, with my friend who's actually in a lobby with me. But I have stay with friends, or stay as a team, and then they stay as a team too. So to stay with just my friend, I would have to leave the lobby, make a new lobby, and that's just, it's tedious stuff like this that they've really, I feel like, missed the mark on in Splatoon 3. So that's negative. But with that said, that's like the most negative stuff I have to say about the game. It's just little stuff like that, which is very annoying, but everything else I think they did a really good job with. I actually love, I was not expecting this. I wish they had maybe advertised this a little bit more in the direct, which they mentioned it. The splash tags, the titles, and the badges especially. They're basically like achievements. I really like it. I play a lot of Call of Duty, personally. And going for, like, calling card challenges and all that, I really enjoy doing that. I wish there was a more, like, streamlined menu where you could see, like, all the things you have left to unlock. And you can just see, okay, I need to do this to earn this badge. It's kind of fun having it be a surprise when you do it, but I almost wish it was just a list, like in Call of Duty, where you can see what you have to do to achieve this badge. And you know, they don't have to show you they don't have to show you, like, the calling card or the splash tag or the badge, you know. They just have to be like, it's just like a lock symbol, right? And then you unlock it based on the criteria. But that's a great addition. I like what they've done with the shops. And just like the weapon tickets with Sheldon, and so every time you level up or every time you raise your freshness level with a gun or a, you know, splatter shot, whatever, you get a weapon ticket. It's not the currency anymore, which is, I like that a lot. And then all your currency can be spent in the shops for the, you know, gear, and then the stuff for your locker, which I haven't really messed with too much yet. It's weird because, like, I almost want to wait until I get a ton of stuff for my locker before I really customize it. But then I go into the thing and I see people with, like, black, tall lockers, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm level 24, by the way, I think, when I'm recording this. So I already have, like, the medium tall locker, but there's a taller locker you can get. I need to figure out how you do that. If you know, let me know down in the comments below. I like that you can just upgrade your how many gear slots you have in the shop now. You can just pay 10,000 coins to do that. That's awesome. I like the little gacha machine where you can just roll for some more splash tags or titles. That's fun. Or the tickets. It really is just the best version of Splatoon, you know? And that's really what it comes down to. And then this is just talking about, like, the core multiplayer, of course. Salmon Run, I haven't really messed with too much yet, but from what I played, I liked it. I didn't really see too much changes. Obviously, there's more bosses, like Fish Stick, iconic Fish Stick, and you can throw the things now. So it just felt like good Salmon Run. They did make it so you can play it 24/7, though. That is, wow, what an amazing change. Wow, took 5 years. Obviously, that's what I want for the regular multiplayer maps, right? But that's seriously, thank you, Nintendo, for fixing what should have never been an issue to begin with, because that is ridiculous. Table Turf Battle, I did a video on. That's the only time I've really played it. I didn't really like it, but, I mean, you can watch my video for my impressions on that. It seemed maybe interesting. I like the cards. I like collecting them, I guess, but I didn't really play it too much. And then the single player. I guess we'll talk about the single player last here. It is definitely the best Splatoon single player, above Octo Expansion, in my opinion. They basically took the Octo Expansion and made it longer. I really like the hub. I like exploring. I like throwing a small fry to clear out the little fuzzy goop areas. And just the levels and the variety in the levels, it just felt really good. It felt like Octo Expansion, but bigger. And that's what I wanted. I do have some issues with it. And I guess, spoilers, I guess, if you haven't beaten Splatoon 3 story mode. I'm not going to spoil the final boss, but I'm going to talk about the other bosses for a little bit, right? Spoiler warning in effect, starting now. Click off. So, there's 6 worlds, I think? Yeah, 6 worlds. There's only 3 bosses. And it's, you know, it's obviously the new trio of characters, Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. And those bosses are really good. Fry is a little weird because they kind of reuse the square cube guy from Splatoon 1. But the Big Man boss fight's awesome, and so is the Shiver one. I wish there was more, though. Splatoon's boss fights are like one of the best parts of the single player, in my opinion, and there's only 3 of them, and one of them kind of felt reused. That's a little disappointing, I think. Actually, that's very disappointing for me, personally. I get that they wanted to have those 3 be the bosses of each of the worlds, but I don't know. You could have just created something else for the other 3 worlds. It just felt kind of like they didn't feel like it, almost. I mean, they literally could have done anything. They could have just done some Octarian thing, right? And then we also fight DJ Octavia at the very beginning of the game, which is cool. And then the final boss, I'm not going to say what it is if you haven't gotten that far, but I think Splatoon 1's boss fight is still my favorite. Splatoon 3's boss fight is very grand, or final boss fight, I should say. It's very grand in scale, almost like some Bayonetta BS, but I don't know if it was that fun. It wasn't that challenging, at least for me. And I don't know. I think Splatoon 1's boss fight still holds number 1 in my heart, you know. But it was a good boss fight. Obviously, there's a moment where they start playing a song from Splatoon 1, and that was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. So overall, the campaign is very good. Definitely my favorite Splatoon campaign. I just wish there had been more bosses. I think that's one of my favorite parts of Splatoon's campaigns. So to see them kind of move away in that regard was pretty disappointing. But just the way they paced the levels, they didn't have it. The Splatoon 2, they did this stupid thing where you could beat every level with every weapon type. That was not fun. I didn't do that personally, but I know people that grinded it out. I did it a little bit, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not playing every level 7 times. It's not worth it. They do still have levels where you play them multiple times, and that's good. But it's not every level, right? So you play them like 2 or 3 times, and that's it. Also, the Sunken Scrolls, not in the levels. Thank you, Lord. They're in the hub, which is so much more fun to explore than having to replay a level to find the Sunken Scroll. Thank you. That was a great change. So overall, really like the campaign. My favorite Splatoon campaign. I'm excited for that DLC where we'll get Off the Hook back. Pearl and Marina, of course. We'll get that next year, probably around the same time, next summer, which will be exciting. And overall, I like Splatoon 3 a lot. I don't really know how long I will actually actively play it. You know, I'm already kind of at that point where I'm just like, you know, I'm just kind of ranking out my catalog at this point to get that dab. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm excited for the Splatfest, and then we'll see where I go from there. I want to get S+ rank. That's kind of my goal right now, is get S+ rank and rank out my catalog. After that, I could see myself kind of starting to wane off, but we'll see. I want more maps. I want them to add more maps. I want them to add a new ranked mode or something. You know, that'd be good. But we'll see what they do. With that said, really liking the game. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you are thinking of Splatoon 3 down in the comments below. I think, from what I've seen, the reception is overwhelmingly positive, rightfully so. The game is breaking absolutely every record in Japan. It's the fastest selling game in Japan of all time, which is insane. I cannot believe that. That's bonkers. It's doing better than Black and White. It's doing better than New Horizons, and it's not even close. It's already sold like over probably 4.5 million in Japan at this point. I think the last number we heard was like 3.7, but that was like a week ago. So probably 4.5, maybe even 5 million in just Japan alone, which is crazy because I didn't think this game was going to even come close to outselling Splatoon 2. Well, that's obviously happening now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Splatoon 3 down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are your gripes with the game? What are your positives with the game? Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Subscribe here for more Splatoon 3 and otherwise Nintendo content. You can join my Discord. Link to that is down below. And until next time, folks, peace.